Alright guys, I'm not gonna lie, this episode was a handful to take in. From seeing more characters come into play, to making better connections, and seeing some Easter eggs that are actually quite hidden. But let's take a step back to take what happened from the start. So of course, Phoenix takes in what I assumed was a guard to actually be a member of the Order of the Night Wind. So basically an assassin being hired, and of course he will not speak and gets dropped to where the Rancor would be at. Though in the end, the assassin speaks to say that the mayor was sent to kill Boba, and we kind of all know that the Rancor is no longer down there, and that was quite a laugh indeed. So Fennec and Boba make their way to see the mayor, and it's a pretty tense but interesting moment to hear the mayor say that he did not hire the assassin, but I think there's a lot more going on to what meets the eye. And his quote saying, "Running a family is more complicated than bounty hunting," is something that's throwing me off because Boba's the only family, or he's really the last of his family with Jango, but of course with Jango being dead, I don't know. I'm still trying to piece that quote into in my mind together. But with that out of the way, we go back to Garsa's sanctuary to find out that the twins, the cousins of Jabba Hutt, have decided to come back what was Hutt's place, because with Jabba being dead, and I'm surprised it took them this long to finally hear that Boba claimed it, and we get to see in their magnificent glory. But of course, Boba won't make this easy for them to claim, so that's gonna be a tough thing to see. And we get to see this. Okay, I haven't looked up the name yet, unfortunately, but we get to see this Black Wookiee. He looks like a freaking badass as a guard, but for now, as much as the sister wants to kill off Boba, the brother doesn't want any bloodshed, and they'll come back another day for their rightful claim. And then we get into the longest part of this episode, which is honestly to God my favorite so far, and I know this is way too early to say, being in chapter 2. But we go back into the flashback and we see Boba being trained how to fight with the staff, until we see the Raiders getting attacked from some sort of train that's passing by, and we actually get to see from the mask that these are the freaking Pikes. It really throws me off, I'm not gonna lie. Unfortunately, some Raiders got killed, and Boba wants to stop the train from coming back, and lets the leader know that he wants to find a way to do that. So he goes out in the middle of the night to find a small club with some chaos with the same people that caused the fire in the last episode, and of course, Boba takes them all down with an epic fight, and just casually leaves out to take their speeders. It was honestly funny. And the Raiders see this, and Boba tells them that it's a gift, but literally seconds after saying that, the Raiders are about to destroy them, and it's like the funniest scene ever to me. And this is where we get to this wholesome scene of just Boba teaching the Tuskens how to properly ride the speeders and get the others prepared when the train comes back. Once fully prepared, the train comes back, and we see this masterful plan come into action, and even though there were some casualties, the plan was successful. And guys, this may sound crazy to believe, and it took a lot of time to listen carefully, but estimating from the 36 minutes and 29 seconds to 41 seconds, the music playing behind Boba talking to the Pikes, which actually when we got a closer look to them, they look a really bit disappointing from the animated series, but you know what, of course we're not always going to get the same look-alike from that. But all that, this music behind Boba talking sounds really faintly similar to Omega's theme song from the Bad Batch. You can look it up you can listen to yourselves, but that's what I've been on listening to that for repeat, and it's starting to sound similar a lot. But with that out of the way, we take a moment with Boba sitting with the leader, and we get this moment to acknowledge about the other Raider tribes. And it's honest, and putting my personal opinions here, this is honestly a species that I always wanted to learn better, and this episode is like a great way of showing that. So the leader decides to give Boba a gift, a lizard, but then he throws some powder on him to get this lizard come up with his nose. Another scene that grossed me out on. Great. Then he gets all delusional to find himself reached to this wisdom tree and breaks off the branch. And after all that delusional, he comes back back to the Raiders camp to see that this was his initiation to be one with the Raiders. And he takes this branch to a welder to get it carved and fixed up to a proper staff. Like I said, this episode was a lot to take in, and I know this is still early to say, but this chapter has already become my favorite already. But I can't wait to see what happens in the next episode, and until then, I will end this review here, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye, guys.